Welcome back. Kent Adams here, and welcome to Spokane Talks Live. And you know it's live when our primary guest, Ben Stuckert, hasn't shown up. And welcome to the political world, right?
That's right.
Things happen. Ryan McNeice is here, and Ryan with McNeice Wheeler. We're going to talk about a couple things, but first,
You bet.
and he doesn't know it in the control room, I've got a couple of free passes, two, matter of fact, to the October 7th, 8th, and 9th Home Idea Show out at the fairgrounds. That's a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's always fun. We've been out there doing live remotes over the last couple of years, and it's fun to see what's going on and some of the latest things as you get ready for fall and Thanksgiving and everything else that's coming up this year.
Right.
And so if you would like these tickets, call 624-2994. Is that the right number? As he looks at, yep, right number, 624-2994. Not bad for this old guy, right? So great. We're going to have some folks on from next week. We'll give away a bunch of tickets next week to the show. Ryan McNeice, we usually have the pleasure of your staff here, or
That's
Becky
right.
and others, talking about all things about lawyers and attorneys and interns and everything else. But we're going to talk about something a little different today.
That's
What
right.
is that?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, but it looks like I'm going to take over as a host of Spokane Talks Online Business Talks.
Right.
And Let's Talk Spokane.
All right, going to
So-
get rid of that old host, right?
That's right. No, so I'm very appreciative for the opportunity to chat about it. I'm excited. You and I have discussed this a bit. We have a whole slate of
Yeah, you had a
guests.
whole list when you came in today, didn't you?
Yeah, there's a whole slate of guests that we'll have on the show here in the
Great.
upcoming weeks and months, and so we're really looking forward to doing that. So thank you for the opportunity.
It was a little hard to give that one up simply because Tom MacArthur and I started that 4 years
That's
ago
right.
over at the Scratch Restaurant on Wednesdays. We did a live 12:30 program from the restaurant. It was kind of fun because you could hear the plates and the forks and knives in the background hitting the plates and so forth.
Authentic.
It
legit.
was.
Yeah.
And that was honestly before many people were doing live things out in the community. Now, I notice ESPN 700, they'll go out to various restaurants and do their show, and some others do too. But this was 4 years ago, and everyone was in their nice air-conditioned studio, and it was safe, and they had all their notes in front of them, and
you have the lighting
computers
and the sound and
right,
tech
right.
and
But
everything's
welcome
right
to
there.
being live, and just like this program, I love the live format because things like today happen.
Well, I think we'll have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
I think, as you mentioned, I think there might be some opportunities, obviously, inside the studio to have
Right.
a whole number of guests and diverse backgrounds.
Right.
But also, I think there could be some ideas outside the studio as well, out in the community, bringing those businesses and diverse groups of our organizations in our community. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is, I think it will be, and the reason for this is, number one, I think you can handle it, so that's an easy one.
Well, thank you.
And
Thank you
We'll
for the
see on the
support.
first recording.
Yeah, no
but,
kidding.
The second is our station is growing, and if it's going to continue to grow, I need to step back from sitting in front of the microphone doing 3 shows, and so I'll continue at least for a while to do this show, but spending more time on the marketing and improving what we're doing and our reach and so forth. And so I'm glad that you can step in and do that.
Thank you.
Our purpose from day one was, just as it says with Business Talks, is to talk about the local small business and why people have started a business, why they're growing. I remember we had Keytronic on years ago, and the fact is, they have more employees in Mexico, but they still have 200 employees
A presence here.
and so forth. And so, yes, we ventured out a little larger than just the mom and pop businesses and so forth. But let's face it, it's the small business that really is the heart and soul of our community. Larry Soren from Kimley Haygood.
Larry's a great guy.
He is a good guy, and the incoming president of the board, or whatever the title is at GSI, as of, I guess, technically on Friday, on Saturday, the 1st of October, he said, the business growth really happens in 500 square feet at a time, which means the small business, the small offices, those kinds of things. And from there, they have a chance to grow, and what can we do? And part of what we can do is to have them on Business Talk
That's
to
right.
talk about what they're doing.
Well, and I think that's the luxury, as you and I've spoken over the last year, the luxury of the Spokane, Coeur d'Alene area
Right.
is we have a great mix of the small business, the medium-sized business, the large employer, and that mix and how they interact in the community.
Yes.
I believe this area is a great area to start a business. And again, when I say that area, I think
And
the
you work
Pacific-
with, as an attorney, you focus on business a lot, don't you?
We do. We're licensed in both Washington and Idaho, so we find ourselves over in Seattle, here in Spokane, Spokane Valley, Post Falls, Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint.
Okay. Priest Lake.
Priest Lake. This is and Priest Lake too. That's a great office to have there as well.
Yeah.
This area, though, has so many stories. When you're out
Yes.
there in the community
Yes.
throughout the weeks, I'm out there in the community talking to clients or just at the restaurant or what have you. There are so many interesting stories, which is what I've respected about the various shows that Spokane Talks Online is telling those stories in our area, and those stories are here.
Yeah. And this kind of started from my appreciation of working with smaller business a few years back, both in sales up at Fox 28 and before that at KHQ, in that one of the things I really enjoyed, yes, I enjoyed the selling part and so forth, but what I really enjoyed was finding out, sitting down with somebody who's trying to make a business grow, living the dream kind of thing. And many of those folks, to help them grow their business, are still good friends because we helped them grow and
what's
expand.
The story behind the
and there's
story?
always a story.
There's a story behind the story.
Even if you've inherited it from your parents or something like that, there's always that story. And I think most people out there are as curious as I am to know what those stories are.
Oh, I think they are, and I think that's why you originally started the show in the first place. And I think why I'm really interested in the opportunity to do this, and thanks again for having me, is what makes, whether it be these businesses that will be a slate of guests for Business Talks, or Let's Talk Spokane, there'll be much more diverse organizations in our areas. What makes these people tick?
Yeah.
On the surface, it's going to be pretty apparent what the individual does. We're sitting here with so-and-so of this organization or this business.
They sell this widget or provide this service.
But what is it that makes them tick? What brought them to this point in time that they wanted to even be involved in that?
Right.
And I think one of my favorite questions that I ask of friends, and most of my friends would probably scoff, like, yep, he definitely asked that question, is if you had a chance to do anything during a 24-hour period, if you had a chance to do anything during your week that didn't, the idea of money wasn't a part of that decision, you just had a general passion for it, what is it that you do? And that's a question I often ask a lot of my friends, my colleagues, business folks that I meet with, to figure out, again, what makes a person actually tick? Why do they do what they do? So I think
sometimes, it's later in life before you can really do that, too.
Yeah, you're doing it.
I think of my friend Tom MacArthur, who's one of his buddies just reached that retirement age, and they were talking, and Tom, I won't mention names, but Tom mentioned, that this guy was telling Tom that, I've been in accounting because my parents were in accounting and all that, but I really didn't like it. And I'm thinking how sad that we've gone through 40 or 50 years of work and we really didn't like what we were doing.
That's right.
I mean, it really is sad.
And again, there's a whole host of reasons why people make that decision versus that decision, which is part of the conversation.
Yes.
But obviously, it's exciting to be talking to folks that say, I'm doing what I'm doing because of this. This was an impetus to bring me to this point, and I may be doing it and in a new and interesting way. I think the buzzword in business right now in the magazines like Fast Company and Inc. magazine would be an interrupter. Are you coming into an industry, whatever that may be, and are you interrupting the common practices? Not just to be different for different sake, because that generally actually doesn't work, but rather, is there an idea, a platform that you can come in and say, I have a genuine reason for trying to do it a bit differently, and hopefully having some success with it. And that's what I'm so excited about, because we've been thankful, as you said, with our staff at McNeice Wheeler. our attorneys having the opportunity to come on the show and talk about different areas of the law. Obviously, I'm passionate about that, but I am equally excited to be in your seat and have an opportunity to be delving into what these individuals and what their pathways are.
Now, you can't come with a list of questions because I'll steal it from you.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, there's going to be rules of engagement here,
yes,
right?
well, it's the conversation. And people will say, well, don't you have a list of questions? And the answer is basically no, because I'm having that conversation as if the person watching is sitting here having that conversation. We talk about business talks and business. I'm really pleased to see that GSI is moving in the direction of not just economic development, but really talking about business development. Right. And I think the general population out there can better understand that. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're down to. Yes, it's the great words, economic development, but it really is business development.
Right. And one business leading to the next business.
Exactly.
That leads to the next opportunity.
So Let's Talk Spokane is going to be a little wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have some diversity there.
Okay.
Some diverse, I think,
You're going to share with us any names, or you haven't contacted them yet?
I think it's a long list, but I actually have. I've reached out to several that expressed a genuine interest and excited to come on the show. So I think they were waiting for the "you tell me when."
Okay.
And I think we'll have that opportunity to bring a couple of those folks early in the show.
Good.
Good. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's have fun with it.
Well, now, if people wanted to get in touch with you and say, "Hey, Ryan, I'd like to be featured, I'd like to be on," or "I've got an idea of somebody," how can they best reach you?
Right at the moment, my email is ryan@mcneicewheeler.com. Okay. So our law office, mcneicewheeler.com is our domain name, so you can find us there. But they can reach out at my
Just send you an email there.
Yep. Or call us at 509-928-4141, and happy to talk with folks that might have some real interesting ideas that they say, hey, what about this? Or what about, would this make a good show? Would this be a good guest? Let's chat about it and see.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Don Morgan and Morgan's Minute after this.